than 24 hours ago, the Blues looked to be down and out against the Blackhawks, but battled back in dramatic fashion. Now Berglund to the net. In front. He scores! Unbelievable! Brandon Saad in on Elliott. And a save! Winner, winner, Christmas dinner! It was one of the biggest wins of the year. Tonight, it's another big game in Big D as Brendan Moore returns to the Lone Star State. Can the Blues make it 2 wins in 22 hours? Find out next. And we are back live at American Airlines Center along with Bernie Federko and Andy Strickland. I'm John Kelly as we get set for the second of 5 innings. Our top starting goaltenders, Brian Elliott is back in goal. He played in the final 2 periods and got the win against Chicago. Kari Lehtonen makes his 5th consecutive start for the Dallas Stars. He has gone 3-0-1 in his last 4. And Brendan Morrow begins for the Blues with Berglund and Tarasenko. Eakin will take the face-off against Berglund. And he is out there with Ryan Garbutt and Roussel. And good to see Sobotka and Roy back tonight. Blues hockey brought to you by Bud Light. It's the sure sign of a good time. Here we go. As Eakin, number 20, tips it in. Holmeister back on defense with Pietrangelo. And now it is Berglund trying to get the puck, but Garbutt there for Dallas to the net. They score! 25 seconds in.
You know, I have a big question mark here, John. When you come out of the corner like that, I don't know how you can run into the goaltender, knock him right out. I mean, Garbutt comes in and tries to stop it, but to me, I don't understand how this is considered a goal, because watch how he comes to the front of the net. He actually runs right over Elliott, who gets knocked right out. I mean, this doesn't make any sense. I mean, he did get pushed by Berglund, but there's no way that Brian Elliott can hold his goalpost.
And now they're saying no goal.
And then, which makes more sense. I couldn't believe that was considered a goal to start with. So I didn't see the referee wave down. He saw him point at the goal to say it was a goal, and all of a sudden they made the right call as it's a no goal.
Well, in their last game against Nashville, Lindy Ruff's club got a goal 42 seconds in from Jamie Benn, and that did stand up in a 4-1 win. And Ruff, as you can see, is livid that was called no goal.
Well, you know what? I think this is the absolutely right call. You can't come in there. You can come in and you can make a move on the goaltender, but you can't knock him from post to post and let the puck lay there for someone to put in the rebound. No chance.
And he was pushed a bit, but the referees ruled that he could have avoided the goaltender.
Absolutely, he could have.
So no goal there. A break for the Blues. But I think it was the right call. Now Jaden Schwartz has it. Schwartz trying to center one on with Sobotka and Oshie. So Sobotka takes Backus's spot on the top line. And the Stars fire it down the ice. And we get an icing call here. And now we get a Dallas player that has some words with the referee, and I think they're going to call penalty on Garbutt.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a penalty call. I mean, it's the linesman that is actually going to make the call on this here. It's Garbutt's going to go. I mean, he's the one that went to the front of the net. He's going to get an unsportsmanlike conduct call. But this is Johnny Murray, the linesman, that actually... There's the call, but Johnny Murray was the linesman that actually made the call. So Garbutt must have said something to Murray, and so he's going to go out for 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct. So all of a sudden the Stars not only lose the goal, John, now they're going to find themselves being shorthanded for the next couple of minutes.
So the Blues on the power play. And they have scored power play goals in 3 straight, 3 for 13. Dallas on the kill this year, 82.5%, 12th best. And the Stars win the face-off and clear it down the ice. And Bernie, a goal here by the Blues, it would really burn Lindy Ruff.
Yeah, it really would, John. I mean, this is where the Blues really need to buckle down, because a power play goal here really will take the crowd of this and really, burn Lindy Ruff even more so. And that's exactly what you want to do. Take away the momentum as quick as possible.
Stars clear it down the ice. The Blues were 1 for 3 against Dallas back in St. Louis on that late November night when they won 6-1. And the Blues enter the zone. Here's Derek Roy, who missed last night's game with the flu. Stars play it up the boards, kept in by Shattenkirk. He goes across to Pietrangelo. Lines then fires. That was blocked by Roussel. Now for Morrow, the longtime Star. Across to Shattenkirk to the front. That was intended for Morrow. Tipped away now. Roy gets it again. Down low. A minute to go in the power play. To Stewart, a shot. And that one-timer went high and wide. Maybe tipped by a Dallas player. Comes across now for Stewart. And now for Pietrangelo. Stewart gets it again. To the net. Morrow, the rebound attempt, and a save there by Lettinen. And we get a whistle.
One of the things the Stars have been really working on in the course of the last month or so under new head coach Lindy Ruff is getting their sticks and bodies in lanes. And the Blues did a good job here just passing the puck, trying to get it through the sticks and the feet of the players. And this little quick shot by Pietrangelo, unfortunately, Morrow tried to deflect it, didn't get a piece of it, but Lettinen in pretty good position. But the Stars really did a good job there, deflecting a couple of the passes that the Blues tried to make through the crowds.
As Fiddler wins the face-off from Sobotka, and the Stars ice it. 40 seconds left in Garbutt's Minor. No score here in Dallas. And now Sobotka. He's missed the last couple of weeks with an upper body injury. He hurt it in Columbus and left after 2 periods in that win. Now Sobotka sets it up. Looks out high for Bouwmeester. He's covered. Now it comes across to Bouwmeester. To the slot. Oshie, great pass. Sobotka. Schwartz, he scores! Schwartz on a great feed, and Jaden Schwartz has scored in his 5th consecutive game, and the Blues lead 1-0.
Well, that's not going to make Lindy Ruff feel any better, but what a great passing play. This is just picture-perfect passing as the Blues. This is tic-tac-toe. Right into the middle, look at this pass, and this Sobotka spots Jaden Schwartz, who makes no mistake, and that's what you have to do is drive that puck into the back of the net. Even though you've got an empty one, you see Schwartz, all the power behind that, but what a beautiful passing play. It goes from Oshie to Sobotka to Schwartz, and as you said, John, that's 5 games in a row, and has Schwartz been any good or what?
How about great? How about unbelievable? His 10th goal in 17 games. And the power play goal at 2:41. And the Blues strike first after the Dallas goal was disallowed. And now they come in offside at the St. Louis line. But that was some brilliant passing there by the Blues.
Well, it's so nice to have Sobotka back in the lineup because the fact now you've got no Steen, you've got no Backus, so all of a sudden now you settle things down having a guy, especially a guy like Sobotka who's a passer, coming back into the Blues lineup at center ice.
Power play goal, his 13th of the season, scored by number 9.
So the Blues striking the power play. Power play goals in 4 straight. Now the Stars at the room line. Here's Tyler Seguin on with Ben and the rookie Valeri Nichushkin. And the puck back now for the Dallas Stars and Cameron Gauntz. Into the zone, Nichushkin. His shot. Hit a leg out high. And now Ben fights off Jackman across. And a shot by Seguin. Oh, what a save by Elliott. Sprawling, diving attempt, and he blocked that shot by Seguin, who had the top corner pick.
I'm not sure if he got his stick on it, with paddle of his stick or the blocker, but what a save that was.
And the Stars to the front. Nichushkin was denied, and the Blues to center. And Magnus Payarvi. Sobotka and Oshie get the assist on that goal. Schwartz is 13th. And now the Stars working back of the goal. Max Lapierre back to the Blues. And his pass ahead for Yashkin. On to Pietrangelo. In front of the goal. A couple of Blues were there. Now Lapierre with it. Back the line, Pietrangelo. Coach Yashkin got his first NHL goal last night, and he says, yes, I did get the puck. It's back in St. Louis. Now Yashkin for Lapierre. Spins off a check. And that shot wide. Comes back to the line for Pietrangelo. Angles one to the inboards now for Porter. And that was poked away by Goligoski. And he feeds one to center. That's off the leg of Alex Chesa all the way down. Like the Blues, the Stars are missing some key players with injury or illness, including 3 of their top defensemen in Gonchar, Robidas, and Daly. This is grabbed by Bouwmeester. And now on for Pietrangelo. And Goligoski who right now is their number one defenseman, Bernie. Lindy Ruff was telling us that he missed practice yesterday.
Yeah, once again, the flu is going around with a lot of the teams that were seeing the Blues, some of them being under the weather. But look at this unbelievable save. He got his kind of the blocker right underneath kind of where he holds his stick, but that is absolutely sensational save against a sniper. Right now we're talking about Tyler Seguin having 19 goals. That was the 20th that was stolen away from him right there with that great save by Brian Elliott.
And 16 of those 19 have been at even strength.
Very impressive. 21 years old, too. Former second overall pick of the Boston Bruins.
Yeah, came in a trade this summer. Now it is Derek Roy. And that was stolen away. And now Ray Whitney comes in. A shot block. Tipped, and that goes just wide. And that comes around. And here is Roy, who, of course, began his career in Buffalo under Lindy Ruff into Stewart. And that is offside. And our keys to the game, Mr. Federko?
Yes, absolutely. The Toyota keys to the game. You got to ride the momentum from last night. Ken Hitchcock was not worried about the momentum. He was more worried about the energy that was left. And you got to get to Lettinen early. We saw the Blues get to Lettinen for 5 goals in St. Louis in November. I mean, he's got a great record against the Blues, so if you get to him early, I think that's the way you beat this Stars team. And the Blues, so far so good as they got that first goal tonight.
Happy to have number 24 back in the booth for the next couple of games as Darren Pang is covering the Winter Classic in Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Well, they get to see him on New Year's Day.
Yes. There's the Blues. Break to center. Schwartz now for Oshie. And off Oshie's glove. That comes down to Goligoski. Can't get it by Oshie. And then Seguin for Dallas. Too far for Nichushkin. And Sobotka goes for a skate back in his own zone. The Blues have recalled, by the way, Sergei Andronov from the minors, but Andronov, who has never played in the NHL, did take a pregame skate, but was scratched because Roy and Sobotka could go. Also out is Cracker. Here's a rebound attempt for Sobotka. And he is forced out high, but now hooks one back to the corner. And that's lobbed high. And gloved down by Pietrangelo, but they ruled that it did come to center ice. So the early power play goal by Schwartz, who is on fire, and the Blues lead by 1. Blues lead it 1-0 here in Dallas. And during this break, they just honored Brendan Morrow, the longtime captain, making his first ever return to Dallas in a visiting uniform. He played over 800 games with the Dallas Stars, the captain for 7, and was the heart and soul, Bernie, for basically all 14 years.
Yes, he was, and you know, what an acquisition. He went to Pittsburgh hoping for a Stanley Cup run, and then Doug Armstrong lucky enough to sign him with the Blues, and he's been a very, very great piece of this team, and I think he's going to be a big, big piece of this team as the Blues go into the playoffs, and hopefully beyond the playoffs, John.
And a penalty called, I believe, there on Yashkin as he was behind the star player. And I think got the stick in there.
Hooking.
It is a hooking minor on Yashkin.
And with that same police penalty,
Yeah, you know, you get that stick to parallel, and 90% of the time you're going to get the call. We haven't seen it as of late as much, but Yashkin was guilty of the hook, so the Stars, who have the worst power play in the National Hockey League, get a chance.
At home, they are 2 for 58. I didn't speak incorrectly there. 2 for 58 at home. Here's Whitney for Ben. And they get set up on their first power play across. Seguin wanted to one-time it. Now goes back to Ben. Another seam pass there. Here's Ben to the line to Goligoski. And the captain, Ben, has it again. Now for Whitney. Third oldest player in the league. Over to Seguin. And he bans on that one as it goes well wide. And now taken by Oshie off the glass and down the ice.
You know, sometimes a power play is so predictable, that's why you can't score. And right now, just from watching it, it's only 2 plays. It's either going to be Seguin or Ben looks like going to shoot it. So you can almost put a blanket on the 2 of them.
And now the Stars, who were 0 for 3 against the Blues in the power play in St. Louis, picked up by Sobotka, and here he comes with Schwartz. Numbers into the zone to Schwartz. He waits, and a shot. And that was blocked, I think, by Goligoski as Schwartz, with a nice little delay move, and almost had a great chance.
Yeah, just dragged the puck there a little bit there, so good play by Schwartz. Good decision to shoot it.
Now Chiasson comes in, and the rookie's drive was right into the midsection of Elliott. And we get a whistle.
Now Oshie, you can see coming out to block the shot there, so it's good to see that he's going to be okay. But a good opportunity here for the Blues. A 2-on-1, you see Sobotka driving the net. Look at a little drag of the puck there, and it's actually the back checker that got hit. It's Seguin that got hit in the back of the legs there. I thought actually, as you did, John, that Goligoski blocked it, but it was actually the back checker Seguin that it inadvertently hit him in the back of the legs.
Blues win a face-off, 40 seconds left in Yashkin's minor. As the Stars to center. It is Kevin Connauton, number 23 now for Eakin. Picked off by Lapierre. And he banks it off the boards and down the ice. And Connauton, the former Canuck, who was traded for Derek Roy, back to get it. And here he comes. Again, the drop pass, Eakin. And then in for Nichushkin, and that's offside. Well, as one of your New Year's resolutions to have more family time, well, start 2014 with a family pack to watch the Blues take on the Kings on January 2nd. Get 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 sodas, and 2 boxes of popcorn starting at $99. Visit stlouisblues.com/hot deals for more details.
Well, that's a great deal, and that's a great game because that's a rivalry right now. The LA Kings and the Blues. The Blues hoping to finally beat a California team, John. Let's hope on Tuesday.
And hopefully
Thursday, I should say.
The atmosphere will be just like last night at Scott Trey. What a great night. I had fans coming up to me after the game and said that's the best game they ever saw at Scott Trey.
And you know what? It has to be. I mean, to come back from, 2 goals down 3 different times and then go to a shootout and win, it was fantastic.
Here's a pass and blocked by Ian Cole, and a good job by the youngster to block it, and he covers it as the Blues have killed off that penalty.
Yeah, good decision by Cole here. You see Bear Chapman caught in the corner. This becomes a 2-on-1, and that's one of the times that the defenseman wants to leave their feet and slide there to make it almost be a perfect saucer pass to get over, which is very difficult from close range. But the Blues do a good job killing off the penalty. The Stars 0-for-1 tonight. Interesting. The Stars, as Lindy Ruff told us, that the Stars are going to have to get that power play going this year, here at home especially with all their home games, if they're going to get that last playoff spot.
Hitchcock telling us a few games ago that Cole has really turned the corner, as tonight he plays in his 6th consecutive game.
Yeah, John, a couple of assists last night, so he's very rarely been minus in his appearances. So, I mean, I think he's feeling more and more comfortable, and he's played very well with Carlo Koliakovo, too, with the injury to Roman Polak. So the Blues are showing the depth that we all knew that they had when they started this season.
Cole is +10 in 23 games. And the Stars fire it down the ice, and this is an icing call midway through this opening period.
Here's a look at Ian Cole batting the puck down here, coming in. And I like the way he's moving his legs and getting his feet in there and joining the offense. I think that's one of the keys to this Blues hockey club. The shot there from Koliakovo deflected in by Lapierre, but I think that's the key to this Blues defense. I mean, we always talk about Shattenkirk, and we talked about Pietrangelo and Bouwmeester, how great they are, and we should be talking about them because they're so good offensively. But let's not forget about the guys like Jackman and Cole, Koliakovo, Polak, Leopold. These guys all joined the rush too.
And Ian Cole, still a very young player. Tonight is his 91st NHL game. Former first-rounder out of Notre Dame. Now the Stars to center ice. Here's Rick Peverley. For Chiasson, that shot real wide. Now Goligoski, and that blast hit his own man, Cole, on the way through. And then Peverley to the front. Saved by Elliott. And they bang away at the rebound, and Elliott has it somewhere. And now Morrow knocks a Dallas player, Chiasson, down. And we get a whistle. Blues up on a Schwartz power play goal.
Somewhat of a homecoming for not just Brendan Morrow, but you can see Ken Hitchcock and Doug Armstrong, of course, but a big ovation for Brendan Morrow tonight. But We saw Doug Armstrong come and visit a little bit with the TV booth here with Darryl Ray and Ralph Strangis. And, of course, Hitch, the Stanley Cup in '99, as did Doug Armstrong as assistant general manager. And Brendan Morrow just missed on that one. He came right after the Stars won the Stanley Cup. But 14 years here with the Stars, and it's so nice to see that he got a great ovation. The heart and soul of his hockey club, as you said, John, captain for 8 seasons, and he's a player. He wants to be a part of the action all the time.
Yes, he does. That's tipped away by Oshie, and that rolls to center ice. Armstrong began his tenure with the Minnesota North Stars back in the early 90s under Bob Gainey, who was actually the director of team services, was his first job. As the Blues get the puck into the zone now for Sobotka. And he tries to bounce it back to the line. That's picked up by the Stars, and here they come. Backhand feed to the front by Horkoff. That's off a stick. And now taken by Schwartz. And late on a shift, he'll dump it in. As Lettinen sets it up for Goligoski. It is Yashkin, Lapierre, and Quarter up front here for the Blues. And Seguin floats it in. That goes to the corner. Bouwmeester there. Under some pressure from Ben. And now the 18-year-old Nichushkin. 4th youngest player in the league is Nichushkin. And he has a world of talent. And fights off that check from Lapierre. Now to the front. That goes by everybody. And the Blues take over, and here comes Yashkin the other way. He'll drop one to the corner. Porter's after it. And Yashkin in some traffic. Now Porter helps out. That comes free, and Nichushkin goes up the middle, cut off by Lapierre, and his shot was blocked. And now the Stars take over again. Shots in the game, 4-3 for Dallas. But the Blues lead by 1. Here's Eakin to center ice. Former Washington Capital. Jackman back to the goal now for Shattenkirk to Payarby. Outlet feed on the tape of Tarasenko. And he's knocked down. Berglund follows up. Here's Tarasenko, and he takes a shot from Chiasson. And Tarasenko is slow to get back on his skates and has lost his stick. Roussel drops it off. Chiasson with it, a backhander block. And Tarasenko at center gets his stick. He's got a breakaway in the clear. And a power save by Lettinen. As Tarasenko was late getting back into play, and it resulted in a breakaway.
You know what? The talented players, the great players, have those things happen to them. And he did. He was hurt in the corner, had to find his stick, and turnover by the Stars. They didn't get it deep, and all of a sudden he's got a breakaway. But we'll have to look at that save for Lettinen, because that may be a big, big one for the Stars for their momentum.
And now Vernon Fiddler on his way to center ice. For Horkoff in the slot, Whitney. That shot blocked by Stewart. And now it's punch low. Fiddler leaves it. And it's taken back there by Horkoff, a long-time Oiler. And then Whitney turns with it. We'll feed one to the end boards. Cole was knocked down. Puck in front. Stars get it. Goligoski a shot. And that was blocked by Morrow. And the Blues force one to center ice. And number 4 is Brendan Dillon. Had the Stars lone goal in that 6-1 loss. Whitney in front. Off a body. Goligoski was there, but the Blues take over. And Morrow, late on his shift, lobs it off the boards and down the ice.
Smart play there by Morrow. The Blues needed a change badly as the Stars were coming hard. Just dump it down. Don't take the ice in, though.
Well, Pietrangelo had the puck bounce on him. Seguin now back for Connaughton. High shot blocked by Bouwmeester. Tough to get a puck over his head. And the Blues have it again.
Yeah, you got to get it up at least 9 feet the way he jumps.
Here's Sobotka trying to muscle his way to the front. Still with it. Deep slot, Oshie, a drive, and a one-timer right on goal, and a good save there by Kari Lettinen.
Good to have Sobotka back, isn't it, John? Great strength by Sobotka. Really nice plays. He's make the play to Oshie. Good hard shot. It was deflected, actually, too, as Lettinen makes another big save. Lettinen has been very, very sharp this evening, and there's a good look at Sobotka. We talked to him on the plane last night, and he said, I'm going to try again because I want to play badly. And it's good that he took the extra night off, and certainly doesn't look like he's being affected right now from the injury, John.
His only day of practice in the last couple of weeks was Friday, where the Blues had that late practice after the Christmas break. As it's centered by Yashkin. And the Stars tip one to the neutral zone. Jackman now for Shattenkirk. And his pass off the stick of Yashkin. Stars give it up. And whipped back in by Lapierre. The only goal tonight by Schwartz at 2:41 on the power play. After the Stars had a goal called back early. And now they move in offside. Shots 5-4 for the Blues. Playing their second game in as many nights. Leading 1-0. In action tonight, the Blues 6-1-2 in their last 9. The Stars have won 3 straight at home and 4-0-1 in their last 5 overall.
And the Stars are going to continue to get better. I mean, we just talked about Seguin and Ben, and then Nichushkin's only 18. Ben's 24, Seguin's 21. John, I would say that that's a pretty good trio to build your hockey club around.
And they come in offside. Of course, the Stars made some changes in the front office in the offseason. Former Blue, Jim Nill, the longtime assistant in Detroit, is now the general manager, and he brings Lindy Ruff in as the coach. Yeah,
Jimmy Nill, just a great guy, and I talked to him before the game. Very happy the way things going. Still wants to get into that last playoff spot, and he feels that the way the club is playing, the speed of this team, he said, is something that they've tried to build, and certainly they've got some key injuries, as you said, John, especially on defense. Their goaltending is good, so he's hoping that with the right breaks and with the right, the right guys coming back, that they can certainly challenge for one of the spots in the playoffs.
And Lindy Ruff was telling you, and of course he and Hitch are great friends, he's going to try and mess things up against Hitch tonight, isn't he?
Yeah, just going to try to, and Hitch is such a fanatic when it comes to matching defensive pairs and lines, and you know what? They're good friends, Lindy Ruff and Hitch, so it's kind of funny to listen to the two of them talk.
As Sabotka gets the puck near the Dallas zone, that's knocked away Bouwmeester, and he bangs it right back in. Lettinen tees it up back of the goal for Dillon, who was signed as a free agent. Now on for Seguin. Seguin cruises in for the Stars. Now across the seam, the Nichushkin right there, and that was denied. I'm not sure if he got a shot or it was stripped of the puck, but that was close as the 18-year-old was in behind the Blues defense.
Yeah, he didn't quite get a shot away. One of the Blues players got a stick on it. Sabotka, I believe, is who got it on. But what a play by Seguin. I mean, he's just so explosive. He's got such great speed when you got the size of both Ben and Nichushkin. That's impressive, that line, as we talk.
And now 4 players converge back of the goal. Roy is knocked down. Of course, had a cup of coffee last year at Dallas. Now it's Ian Cole. And he can't move it out. Eric Cole gets it. Here's Connaughton. He walks in. A shot and a save by Elliott on that wrister by Kevin Connaughton.
Yeah, that was a play that almost was perfect. As the puck is dumped to the middle here, you see that the Dallas Star forward couldn't reach that puck, so it goes back to the defense. But here's a look at the play across. Nichushkin tries to make the move there, but it was, I believe that was Bouwmeester's stick, not Sabotka's stick. It's that long reach of Bouwmeester that got his stick in there and knocked that puck away before he could make that move all the way across the front of the crease.
And now Lapierre wins the faceoff from Fiddler. Shattenkirk a pass to center ice. And then the Stars come back in. Of course, the Blues had to make a change last night after the first period, trailing 3-1. And we asked Hitchcock about why he came back with Brian Elliott tonight. He had a very simple answer.
Yeah, because they won. Yeah, the Blues won. They came back, and even though it got to 5-3, the Blues found a way to win. And certainly you want to have the guy that feels really good about himself. He still was not happy with the way he played. He let a couple of goals that he said were suspected, especially the second one. He said there's no way he should have let that one. It was going wide, but he knocked it in. But, hey, it's tough to be a goaltender. I wish Panger was up here to answer that, because I can't answer what it's like to be a goaltender. But these guys work their tails off, and it's so great that the rest of the team rallied, John, though, because they wanted to win the game for their goaltenders, even though they were having a shaky night.
As the Blues dump it in Porter. Yashkin a big hit. He had 3 hits last night against the Hawks, and that was a pretty good hit back of the goal. And now the Stars have it. Fiddler. Hit the line. And then Whitney, the 41-year-old, to center ice. That's dumped in by Gauntz, but the Blues are there as they make a change. Shattenkirk up the middle, and here comes Tarasenko. He was denied on a breakaway earlier. Tarasenko shrugs off a check. Deep slot, Payarvi. Now for Ian Cole. And that shot hit a stick, goes wide. And Eric Cole there for Dallas. And he can't move it out. Good job by Tarasenko. And the Stars to center ice. And now Peverley drops it off. Chiasson shot blocked. And here come the Blues back to center. Tarasenko scoops one back to the goal with 2.5 to play in the first period. And now it's Erik Cole. Not related to the Blues, Ian Cole, who has it for Payarvi. And he is wrestled down by Erik Cole. And it's grabbed by Oshie. And now Pietrangelo walks in. And a shot is on goal. And a save by Letton. And then Sobotka going to the net takes a bit of a stick or an elbow up high.
I like the way the Blues have played this first period, John, though, especially we've never have to play last night. They've had the better of the scoring chance. But Tarasenko's got he's such a smart hockey man as he's able to protect the puck. And here's a look at the breakaway. Again, he tried to go, I think, 5-hole there as Letton kind of opened up the pads, but he was tired. You can see he was a little hurt. He had to take that puck, too. He was kind of standing still, and he was still able to break away and get a good scoring chance. But if he would have had a little bit of speed, I think he would have probably deked instead of throwing the puck away and tried to lead that quick shot.
Pitch called him our best player last night against Chicago. Blues tag up. This is onside. Schwartz after it. On with Oshie and Sobotka. Now played for Goligoski. And then Tyler Seguin fights off a check. He'll chip it by Pietrangelo. Back with the goal. Pietrangelo and Bouwmeester back to defend, and Pietrangelo comes up with it. He reverses for Bouwmeester. And up the boards and out.
That play right there is why Alex Pietrangelo is so good. I mean, so smart. The anticipation there to go to where the puck was going to be and just to make such a good move on it.
And it goes around to Morrow, and now we get a whistle. Interference, I believe, against somebody.
Yeah, this is going to go against Sobotka. You can see he doesn't like the call. This is where Dan and Sobotka fighting for position, and now here it is. This is the interference call right there. Is Sobotka kind of just holding up Seguin, who's got great speed. And I think the fact that he just got his stick into the midsection is why he got the interference call. I think if he could have just stayed skating with him, there probably would have been no call. So the Blues tried to kill off their second penalty of the night.
And again, the Stars have the 30th ranked power play. They win the faceoff. Goligoski with it. Sends it back on the line. Connaughton out of Goligoski again. A shot. Right pad saved by Elliott. And now it's Pietrangelo for Bouwmeester. Two Stars around him. Eakin and Chiasson. And it's fed to the line, but Connaughton had moved in, and now he has to retreat back to get it at his own line. Connaughton for Peverley, off his stick.
1 minute remaining.
And there's Jackman to whip it off the glass and back down. Inside the final minute here in the first period. And Goligoski, who came from Pittsburgh a couple of years ago, for Niskanen and Neal. Ian Cole, the first man back. And that goes around. Connaughton on the line. Knocked out of midair by Tarasenko. There's some great hand-eye coordination by the second-year player.
And anticipation. He knew exactly what Goligoski was going to do, try to go up the boards. And, yeah, he's got, as you said, the hand-eye, but it's just smart hockey sense.
And now Seguin cruises up the middle for Benn. He fires it on goal, and a save by Elliott with 21 seconds left in the opening frame.
Brian Elliott will take that shot all night long. Force the guys to the outside. It's on a line rush, and there's absolutely nothing to shoot at there. And you can shoot at a goaltender 99% of the time, John, or more. That puck is never going to get in.
And a big face-off here. As Benn digs in against Lapierre. Lapierre wins it. Pietrangelo for Bouwmeester. And he goes high off the glass and down the ice. That's what a face-off win will do for you. As now the Stars with 10 to go in the period. Quickly back to center. Here's Whitney. Whitney to the front to Benn. And that shot wired high off the glass. At the buzzer, a drive and a save on Goligoski by Elliott, who was very sharp in the opening period.
Yeah, very sharp. The Blues, a very good first period. They only gave the Stars 7 shots on goal. They did get a goal disallowed, which was the right call. And you know what? When you're on the road, your power play has to come through. You can win with your special teams. So far, the Blues are 2 for 2 in the penalty kill, and they scored the only power play goal of this game.
And that one was by Jaden Schwartz. as he has scored in 5 consecutive games. The shot in the opening frame, 8-6 for the Stars, but the Blues lead it by 1 after 1. It is the Blues' first trip of the season to Dallas, Texas, and after 1, the Blues on a Schwartz power play goal with a 1-0 lead. John Kelly, Bernie Federko back inside American Airlines Center. Darren Pang again is off covering the Winter Classic. And Bernie, I think we agree, after allowing 5 goals last night to Chicago in that win, it was imperative that the Blues got good goaltending tonight.
Yeah, very questionable goaltending last night. And then both goaltenders, both Jarmo Halak and Brian Elliott, felt bad about it. They said they have to be better. And certainly, Elliott's been very good. You can see right off the bat, he got ran over. And this would have been a terrible call if it wouldn't have been a no goal. But it turned out to be a no goal. The Stars were celebrating well. It was disallowed. And then Brian Elliott took over. A great save off the stick of Tyler Seguin right there. Seguin couldn't believe that he didn't score there. And then it was Elliott, very, very sharp shot from the sideboards. Great position there, no rebound. So, yes, when you're on your road and when you are playing against a team that is as explosive and is as fast as the Dallas Stars, you have to have great goaltending. And you can see, look at Brian's numbers in the month of December. Look at the goals against at 1.76 at 924 save percentage. So Brian Elliott has been absolutely outstanding, and he's been, John, extremely good on the road in the entire season.
Yeah, 3-1-2 overall on the road. Blues hockey is brought to you by Bud Light. It's the sure sign of a good time. Here we go. Stars come in on the power play, and a shot by Ben. That is gloved by Elliott now with 20 seconds left in Sobotka's minor.
The Blues need to be very, very strong in their sticks here. You got to face off now in the zone. Only 20 seconds left in the power play. You want to make sure you get through this end of the penalty kill so that you can get back to 5-on-5 hockey.
Stars win the face-off. Goligoski across. One-timer by Seguin. That hit traffic on the way through. And now taken by Pietrangelo. Not out. Whitney gets it to the net. That's denied by Bouwmeester. Now centered across Seguin to Whitney. And his shot, and that was blocked. I don't think it got on goal. And the Blues clear it to center ice.
Yeah, I think that hit Cole, John, who's going to the net.
And now it's Seguin once again. Seguin for Goligoski. Winds up a drive. That was blocked again. And the Blues are back at full strength. So the Stars are now 0 for 2 on the power play. And Sobotka has it for the Blues. Great to see him back after missing the last couple of weeks with that upper body injury. And the Blues make a change on the fly here. It is Dillon, long feed, intended for Garbutt. And now moved in, Roussel with it, and his drive goes wide, and he got a lot on that, trying to go high glove side. There's Roussel out of France with a glorious chance. And that's tipped away by Schwartz. Thrown back in by Aaron Rome. And now turning is Schwartz. Stars almost caught on a line change there. It's Sobotka down the board. In against Rome. And it goes to Jordy Benn, the older brother of Jamie Benn. Broken up at center ice. Schwartz for Tarasenko. And he scoops it in. And Rome parks it back on the goal.
Sorry, John. This is the period with the long change, so especially with the forwards, they got to be very, very careful that they help out for the defense, who have to go a long way to go to get back to the bench.
And now Ian Cole, he reverses it for Koliakovo. Now on to Morrow. Morrow in his first year wore number 45 with the Dallas Stars. And switched to 10.
Ryan Skrudland. Another Saskatoon Blade, former Saskatoon Blade. John, got to get that in.
And a drive on goal, taken care of by Elliott. The heck with the Ottawa 67 tonight, right, Bernie?
Absolutely, absolutely. But you did on the Jumbotron here. We were able to see the first goal that he scored.
Here's a drive from the slot by Whitney, and that's blocked. And Koliakovo feeds it off the glass to center. Morrow at the line. He can't get in. And Whitney back for Dallas. Whitney a drive. Blocker save by Elliott. Comes back in front, and it's knocked away by a diving Koliakovo.
The Stars have really picked it up here. The Blues really have got to try to change the momentum here as the Stars are throwing everything now towards the net.
They have had the first 4 shots in this second period. Now back for Dillon. He winds it around to Sagan. Lapierre there for the Blues. And now Koliakovo trying to move it. Comes in front to Shushkin with it. Can't get a shot. Ben! And he swings and misses. Now Ben gets it again. Into Goligoski, a shot. And that was off the stick, I believe, of Brian Elliott. And the Blues clear it away. And this will result in an icing call.
Well, you knew the Stars were going to get a push sooner or later. They're 0 for 2 in the power play. Well, tonight now, good stick here by Shattenkirk. You see Roussel trying to come in from the off wing, and then this is a great save. Blocker save by Elliott. Another one. This is Horkoff going to the front, and then getting to chip it back in front. So the Blues a little scrambly here to start this second period. But Brian Elliott has been very, very tall in net for the Blues and really bailing the Blues out early in this period.
Face off, it is Garbutt down low. A Porter there for St. Louis, and he was upended. Played by Koliakovo off the far boards, and now back to center ice. Blues cannot get that change. And the Stars in front, and a shot on goal by Roussel, and again Elliott has the answer.
Yeah, great positioning here. You talk about goaltenders coming to the front of the crease, and Brian Elliott, great anticipation, takes a step out, and really there's no way for Roussel to go as this puck squirts through. But look where Elliott is. He's outside of the paint, right on the corner there. There's no way that puck has got any way to go in. So Roussel a little frustrated, but Brian Elliott with a big stop there because of his positioning, I should say.
Roussel missed on a penalty shot in Friday's win against Nashville. Scored on a penalty shot earlier this year. As the Blues control the faceoff, Tarasenko now on for Payarvi. And this goes deep. Berglund on the attack. Works over Rome back of the net. Now Payarvi trying to find it. Gets some support there from Berglund and Tarasenko. And it goes to the far side. Pietrangelo pitches in. Stars play it off the glass, and this bounces to center ice. And handled by Cole. To a cutting Payarvi. Now back for Pietrangelo. And he gets the puck across the red line, and that goes too high. And that the netting, or was it an icing call? I believe an icing call.
Yeah, it's an icing. He was about a half a step behind the red line when he shot it in, so the Blues cannot make a change, and the Stars come out with a line change.
And now Peverley on the faceoff against Berglund. Faceoffs were just about dead even in the first period. And the puck came right to Chiasson. His shot blocked. Tarasenko can't move it out at the line. Cannot drive. And that was stopped by Tarasenko. And showing his strength in the Dallas zone. Stars catch the Blues on a change, and Chiasson had it wobble off his stick, or he would have been in all alone on Elliott as the Blues got caught on a bad change there. And now Shattenkirk off the boards. And that does roll to center ice. And a pass picked off by Tarasenko as he stole it from Peverley.
Now that's that long change we talked about. You've got to make sure that the forwards are back before you try to make a change.
Stolen here by Oshie. Shoots. He scores! Unbelievable shot by Oshie. And the Blues take a 2-0 lead.
Great shot by TJ Oshie. Good forecheck, and the Stars actually give up the first shot of this period for them, and Oshie just roofs this one, but you can see just a mishandle by Connaughton along the boards, and this is a goal that Lehtinen would like to have back as Oshie just roofs it. Lehtinen goes down and doesn't get his angle right, and it goes over his right shoulder right up underneath the bar. So great shot, and the Blues have a 2-0 lead.
His first goal in 16 games, 5th of the year, and it comes at 5:12, and as you said, it's on the Blues' first shot of the period. After the Stars had the first 5 shots. And it's 2-0 for the Blues. Sabotka with it for the Blues. And puck picked by Ben. Now Jamie Benn, who got the captaincy from Morrow, puck in front, and that's picked off by Oshie, and away he comes. Stars back in a bit. Oshie can't make a play, and it does get out of the zone and then walk back in by Sabotka.
Well, the Stars are going to probably come with 5 guys now. The Blues got to be very, very cautious here. If they play their positions, if they get the puck in deep, they're going to get some turnovers, and they're probably going to be able to get some odd man rushes. But this is just a good forecheck by TJ Oshie, and that's what you do. You need breaks in parts of the game, and it's been all Stars in this second period, but a quick turnover, and all of a sudden the Blues have a 2-goal lead.
And Bernie, he put that puck in the smallest of holes over the right shoulder.
Yep, right underneath the short side bar, and as a right-hand shot, he had a better angle than you would think. It's hard to do that as a left-hand shot, but when you're a right-hand shot, you can change the angle a little bit, and the goaltender just missed it by that angle by a bit, and the puck's in the net.
And now Jackman's feed up the middle for Porter. In deep, now back on the line. Here is Shattenkirk. His wrist shot, and that hit a body, I think, Porter on the way through. And then Yashkin on the boards with Jackman. Stars get it free. Jordy Ben for Rome, and that goes all the way down. And Roussel wins the race there to the dot, so no icing. And quickly to center ice. And Gauntz hands it back for Canuck. Now moved into the zone to Cole with a great movement, and poke check by Jackman at the last moment. And it is Morrow going for a skate, keeping his own zone. Shattenkirk now to center, and here comes Stewart. He'll chip it in and go after it against Canuck. Up come 3 in front. Derek Roy wide open, and a save, and Roy back in front, and that was blocked. It was almost 3-0. And now the Stars through center ice. Gauntz fires it in. Here's Cole for Koliakovo. And then Stewart floats it ahead. Roy lost his stick. And keeps on kicking at the puck. Oh, Koliakovo blew a tire at center ice. Here come the Stars in with Whitney. Drop pass and a shot by Peverley. Missed everything. And then blocked by Derek Roy. And that bounces to center ice. Now Goligoski to Whitney. Drop pass. And another shot, this one by Fiddler. Hit a shin pad. And PRV marches back to center ice. And his pass. Tip, but Tarasenko follows up. And Whitney now for Dallas. Floats it high. And that bounces back to the Blues line. Here's Berglund at center ice. 12:10 to go in the second. The Blues leading 2-0 on goals by Schwartz and Oshie. Berglund works down low with Payarvi. It goes to Payarvi. He sees Berglund wide open in the corner, and his stick came up on a Dallas player. That's Goligoski, and Berglund will get nailed for a high sticking violation. And they'll check for an injury. What a shot by Oshie. Right into the top corner to make it 2-0.
The Blues have a 2-0 lead, but Berglund's going to be off for high sticking, and the Stars will go on the power play for the 3rd time tonight. Here's a look at the penalty. You see just the stick a little up, gets Goligoski in the visor, but the Blues almost made it 3-0. Little turnover. Derek Roy almost able to fish that out of the pads of Letton, and then he went to the front of the net. I think the Stars may have saved a goal there by fishing that out of the crease.
Here's a quick chance for Ben, and he scores a power play goal. And it's 2-1.
Yeah, the importance of face-offs on a power play. The Stars just scored their 3rd goal now at home on the power play. This is their 61st attempt. But you see, good work there. And then this is just quick hands by Whitney, quick hands by Jamie Benn, and he just fires it to the far side. But look at this, Whitney against the grain. Elliott kind of back in the net, and Pietrangelo did not block the shot. I don't believe that Elliott saw it at all, John, and Ben scores his 13th on the power play. Now the Stars have cut the lead to 2-1.
And that's his 3rd goal in 3 games. And as you said, only their 3rd power play goal at home in 61 chances.
Hard to believe with this talent on his team.
And now Roussel comes in, takes the shot into the slot. Garbutt couldn't shoot it. Now Garbutt back the line. Canuck with it. Great pass in front. Glove save by Elliott on Eakin. And a dandy stop there.
Well, the Stars are going to send everything again now that they're smelling that they're back in this game. So You're going to see Ken Hitchcock. He's making changes now. We're going to probably try to slow this game down. Hitch will want to have a change on every whistle. And if he can't change things with that, I wouldn't be surprised if he throws a timeout in there if he needs to. But
Stars win another face-off. Dillon with it. That shot bounces. Cole, and he missed top corner. Stars get it back on the line. It's Goligoski. Feeds one for Cole back in the cage.
yep.
And he is tripped by Sobotka, and another penalty call. And it goes down the ice. Oh, the goaltender, Lettinen, almost went off. That would have gone in the net.
That was a goal. Yes, it was.
If he goes all the way, that's in the net. And
Very
now the Blues
fortunate.
touch it.
Very fortunate for Lettinen there, or I should say for the Stars, because Lettinen, very smart by Lettinen to even watch the play. A lot of goaltenders just sprint to the bench, and he did not sprint to the bench and able to save that goal that would have counted.
The goal by Dallas on the power play. Ben from Whitney at 8:13. And now the Blues are short again.
Well, the Stars are coming. The Blues have got to kill this one. You don't want to give up 2 power play goals in a row.
And Lapierre wins the face-off for Pietrangelo. Can't get much on it. In front, and Ben's backhander blocked. Now Goligoski. And he is pressured by Tarasenko. Bouwmeester for Pietrangelo. And he goes up the middle and all the way down the ice. So the Stars 1 for 3 on the power play. Goligoski back to get it. Gets by Oshie. In against Pietrangelo. And a drop pass, and it goes by Ben on the left point. And now Sagan, who leads the club with 3 power play goals. For Cole, he's denied by Bouwmeester, and Berglund will feed it back down the ice. And 45 gone in the power play. And the Minnesota native Goligoski for Sagan. Into the captain, Jamie Benn, to the net. And it's saved by Elliott. That may have been tipped. Now it's Whitney down low. Pressured by Jackman and Derek Roy. Slowly to center ice. And he'll blast it in. And Lettinen, and almost stripped there by Schwartz. And Hayden Schwartz, who scored the Blues' first goal. 3 Stars around him. They finally get it back from the pesky Schwartz.
Yeah, he is so strong on the puck all the time. It's unbelievable.
And the Stars up the middle. Backhander by Eakin. That's their first shot of the power play. And now Jackson back to the goal. Jackman for Cole. To Lapierre. And with 22 to go in the Dallas power play, the Blues feed it back down the ice. And Kevin Connauton back to get it. Right up the middle. Picked off by Berglund. And a good kill here by the Blues. And now Berglund, with plenty of time, takes a bit of a two-hander from Chiasson for Bouwmeester. And slaps it into the Dallas zone. And now Sobotka is back.
Good job by Berglund again. Good stick, good play, smart reads.
So it remains 2-1 for the Blues. Under 9 to play here in the middle frame. Fiddler crashes down low. Goes wide on Pietrangelo. Now reverses. Grabbed by Horkoff for Fiddler again. Fiddler to the line for Jordy Benn. And then Roma shot. It's gone. It was tipped, I believe, and it's 2-2.
I believe that's going to be Roussel's goal. I believe that he actually deflected, but I believe it's going to be number 16 in front of the net. As you see the Stars with a great forecheck. And all this is a quick play, roam across to the other point. And I believe it's 16 right there. Yes, he deflected through traffic, through the legs of Bouwmeester. Maybe a better look here, too. You see it goes down, and Elliott can't get those wickets closed quick enough. And the Stars tie this game at 2.
The goal at 11:31. So we've got a brand new game.
Yes, we do.
Heberle at the line. He can't get in. Now Morrow, but a hand pass from one Blues player to another. At one time it was 2-0, but the Stars have come back with 2 in a row to tie it at 2.
It's been all Stars in this second period. The Blues did make it 2-0, but the Stars have come back with 2 goals in 3 minutes and 18 seconds. And the Blues only 2 shots on goal, but this is a power play goal as Jamie Benn capitalizes on the quick turnover, and then this deflection by Ryan Garbutt goes through traffic. Elliott did not see it at all. It goes between his wickets, and all of a sudden we have a 2-2 game. The Blues outshot 9-2 so far in this second period.
And they do give the goal to Garbutt from Rome and Jordy Benn. So Garbutt, like we thought, did tip it, his 7th of the year. So we are back to even. But Bernie, it's quite apparent the Blues, playing their second game in less than 24 hours, don't have a lot of legs and life in their game at this point.
Yeah, Ken Hitchcock said before the game is that he was not concerned about a letdown because of playing the Hawks in a big win. He's worried about how much gas was going to be left in the tank.
There's Jordy Benn again, a shot. Bounces in front and now taken by Morrow. And he comes up the boards for Roy. He is pinned, can't get it out. Now roll him across. Jordy Benn to the net. And that was too high for Chiasson. And Morrow quickly to center ice. Tipped down the ice by Stewart. And a quick change here by the Blues. Long stretch pass to Chiasson. He comes in. Chiasson trying to feed one behind the defense. Broken up by Cole. And now Morrow back to center ice. Oshie in on the forecheck against Goligoski. There the Stars back to center. They turn it over. And Jaden Schwartz right back in for Sobotka. And he was hooked a bit.
Yep.
Referees let that go. And Sobotka to the front. Oshie was in the area, but it went by him. And Roussel quickly passes up the middle. And it bounces back to the Blues line. Now Oshie. Hard pass for Schwartz. And he pulls up. Schwartz trying to spin off his check. To the line. Cole a drive. And that goes just wide. And then grabbed by Lettinen off the boards.
Again, great hard work, gritty work by Jaden Schwartz along the boards. Makes a nice play even though he's on his knees. And a good hard shot from the point. But Jaden Schwartz is just absolutely amazing how good he is with the puck. Look, he's down on his knees here. Still has enough, as Panger would say, gumption, get the puck to the point. And a good hard shot from the right point. Good save by Lettinen. But the Blues have got to create some scoring chances. I mean, right now only 3 shots on goal. They've got to get some pressure in this offensive zone so they actually can take some pressure off of Brian Elliott for a little bit.
Now it is Berglund, Payarvi, and Tarasenko. Face-off controlled by the Blues. Tarasenko, a shot. That's stopped by Lettinen. And now Tarasenko again turns, fires an arm save there by Lettinen. That was a pretty good chance. And now Berglund on the cycle for Tarasenko. To the front backdoor feed to Polmeister just off the mark. Polmeister for Berglund. And he paddles down low against Jamie Benn. Berglund away with it. And a center one bounces across Pietrangelo. And he sends it back to the cage again. Now Pietrangelo to the slot, Tarasenko. Tarasenko fighting against Gaunce. Comes in front. Payarvi, oh, what a pass save! Lettinen with absolute robbery there with the right pad.
We saw Lettinen, we should have saw Elliott with a big save in the first period off of Tyler Seguin. And this one now, you look at the eyes right now of Payarvi because I can't believe that this didn't go in either. But what great plays by Tarasenko. Look at how strong he is. Look at this power move here. Gets it, spins back, and he comes to the front of it. There's his first shot, original shot there, but he later on, what a great play that he made to Payarvi. We'll get a look at that, I'm sure, but what a save by Lettinen with the right pad.
And now the Stars ice it with 6:08 left in the second period. But Payarvi, I saw his reaction on the bench, Bernie. He cannot believe he didn't score.
Yeah, look at this power move here. What a pass. And look at that right pad. That's where you got to go upstairs there. You can't take for granted that that goaltender's not going to get across. So Payarvi would like to have that one back. And certainly Lettinen, that's highway robbery right there, John.
And now Roy against Fiddler. And Fiddler wins it rather easily for Jordy Benn. And then for Rome. That pass on to center ice. Fiddler funnels one back in the Blues goal. And then Horkoff there. He's shadowed by Shattenkirk. Now Fiddler again. Deals it back to Jordy Ben. A shot. And that goes wide. Comes in front. And pinballs around. Nobody could find it, but Morrow does. And Brendan Morrow now to center ice. Can't send Stewart in behind the play. Jackman's involved with the Dallas player Fiddler. And that's picked off at center ice by Roy. And now Morrow. Bouncing puck. He moves deep. Gets some help there from Roy. And that was broken up. The Blues have all the forwards caught as Peverley races back in to Rome. And a backhander and a blocker saved by Elliott. And Cole has it. Ian Cole for Stewart. He'll chop one back to center ice with 5:05 to go in the second. Shots 19-12 for Dallas in a 2-2 game. Now Dillon kicks it into Chiasson. And a shot. And that was blocked by Cole. Fed back of the goal. Chiasson again. For Peverley, worked over by Lapierre. Now Peverley trying to find some open ice. And his shot. And a glove save by Brian Elliott. And we get some pushing in the corner. Tied at 2 late here in the second period in Dallas.
The Blues had a 2-goal lead briefly here in the second period, but the Stars have scored 2 goals in a little over 3 minutes to tie it at 2. But the Blues, John, I thought have had a little bit of offense now. They've rebounded with a couple of good chances.
Stars win the face-off. Goligoski, a shot, and a save by Elliott. Then Schwartz out high, gets it. Backhand feed for Pietrangelo, and he'll rip it in. Sabotka in on the forecheck. Get some help there from Schwartz. Stars push it free now for Garbett. Down the boards, Roussel trying to get to the front, and a good job denying the space there by Koliakovo. And now the Blues get the puck to center ice. Oshie drops it back. Look out. And luckily, Koliakovo got over to knock it away. And this is lobbed high to center ice. And now picked off by Oshie. Stars have it again. Dillon up the middle for Jamie Benn. And Elliott look out back of the goal. And had to be careful there. And now down low to Chushkin, the rookie. Blues get it back. Koliakovo. He'll twist one back of the goal for Cole. And that's off a Star stick, I believe. It was tipped. And the fans, they want delay of game, but they agree that it was tipped.
Yeah, it was tipped. There's no question you could even hear it up here, but fans always cheer for that. And, you know, it's funny, all the players already point right away. They put the onus on the referees and the linesmen as quick as they can, but that was certainly the right call. But here's a look at it. Seguin gets his stick right in there, and that puck just goes up off the stick and over the glass.
And now Berglund, Payarvi, and Tarasenko back on the ice. And the face-off controlled by the Blues. Pietrangelo for Bouwmeester. And his feed for Payarvi. And Lettinen, the former second overall pick by Atlanta, sets it up. Puck to center, handled by Jackman. Long stretch pass for Tarasenko. In against Rome. Tarasenko knocked down, but gets it. Now it comes free to Berglund for Shattenkirk. A shot and a save. It's loose there. And the Stars knock it away from the goal crease area. And it's floated high to center ice. And Shattenkirk up the board. Stewart trying to dance in. He gets some room down the wall. Now Stewart had it knocked away. Shattenkirk at the line. Tipped by Yashkin to the corner. And now Dmitry Yashkin again for Stewart. And he was checked. But Roy follows up to Stewart. Quick shot and a blocker save by Lettinen. Now Stewart, a star player, was knocked down. Stewart gets up. Here's the Shushkin with it. And he floats it back to center ice. Shattenkirk for Yashkin. Yashkin stripped. Now he gets it again. Yashkin ducks under a check. Trying to get to the front. Back of the goal. Backhander on goal and a save by Lettinen. Good move there by Yashkin.
Now we keep talking about and hearing about Yashkin getting opportunities, and he's very talented young man as far as the offensive side, and that was a great play there. He didn't realize how much time he had there, but this is just good hard work by the Blues. The shot from the point, Lightning couldn't find it for a moment. So the Blues are getting some chances of getting pucks to the net, but Yashkin had his first goal last night. He had 3 hits in the game, and Ken Hitchcock talked about the upside of this young man too, and we just saw a little bit of that upside there with that great play that he made going around the net and trying to root that puck over the shoulder of Lettman.
Now it's Morneau at his own line. Off the leg, it bounces back to Pietrangelo with 2:05 to go in the period. Blues have steadied their game here after allowing that second goal. Now LaPierre a drive, and a good save by the aggressive Lettman. And Seguin the other way. Pietrangelo gets the stick in the way. Now it's LaPierre up the far side, and he rifles one back of the Dallas goal. It is Gauntz. His pass, tipped by Sobotka. And then rifled in by Cole. Actually the first man back around for Pietrangelo. And then back to the near side now for Schwartz. And he does a full 360 on Dillon. And Goldmeister, long pass. Off the boards for Sobotka. Nice play there. Now Sobotka, tipped to the line. And a rolling puck for Ian Cole. He'll blast it back of the goal. Sobotka's after it. But now Eric Cole feeds one to center ice. Off the stick of Chason, and then taken by the Blues. Now for Ian Cole. Great wide feed. That hits Sobotka in the foot. The Stars get it. Here they come. Everly comes in the final minute. That shot blocked as Koliakovo got in the way. And Sobotka under no pressure there. Now takes the hit and gets it out. And Goligoski. Tipped in there by Brendan Dillon. Ian Cole sends it high. Now gloved down by Oshie. This pass was off a skate. Eakin comes back in for Dallas. And his drive was tipped off a blue stick. And then Berglund near the line. Gets some help there from Ian Cole for Koliakovo. And he sends the puck around the boards. Jordy Benn back there. He is bumped by Berglund. Now Tarasenko comes in, kicks one to Berglund. As Payarvi lurks in the slot. Oh, Tarasenko hit hard back of the goal by Jordy Benn. And the puck at the line, held in by Jackman for Payarvi. And his backhander is up high. And then Tarasenko takes a bit of a swat on the leg, and that'll do it. And the end of 2 in Dallas. And Tarasenko a bit shaken up after that, I think, a slash of a Dallas player.
Well, most of that period was all Stars after the Blues made it 2-0. But I do like the way the Blues responded over the course of the last 5 minutes of this period. They did have some scoring chances. They started getting some forecheck in, and that's what they're going to have to do, obviously, in the third period, because they can't play the entire game or the next period in their own defensive zone. But it's 2-2, John, right now. Just one good period and hopefully another 2 points for the Blues.
And after 40 minutes, the Stars have outshot the Blues 21-16. Schwartz and Oshie for the Blues, Benn and Garbutt for the Dallas Stars, all tied after 40. Stars are tied at 2. John and Bernie back in the broadcast booth as the Blues play their first game on this 2-game road trip. They'll wrap up the year in Minnesota in a couple of nights. Meanwhile, the Blues have had another great effort from Tarasenko. Hitch called him their best player last night, and he might be the best tonight.
I would agree, John. I mean, he had a goal and 2 assists last night for 3 points. And tonight, he's been absolutely outstanding. He's so darn strong. I mean, taking the puck to the net, but just look at the strength that he has here. He got knocked down. He gets back up. Quick acceleration. Big save by Lettman. But look at the moves here. Shot goal, takes a hit, stays with the puck, comes out to the front of the net, and has to make another great save. And look at the strength here. Stops on a dime, walks out front, and look at the Chamberlain save of the game there. A beautiful pass to Payarvi, and look at the save, the right pad, the push-off by Lettman. If Payarvi goes up, it's not the Chamberlain save of the game, it's the Chamberlain goal of the game. But great save by Lettman. So the Blues now are going to need to find a way to really establish themselves some offense again. At one time, John, they were getting outshot 9-2 in that period. They ended up only getting shot 13-10. So the Blues did get some offense going in the latter part of that second period.
Yeah, they stabilized in the last 6 minutes of that period. As we are underway in the third. And right off the face-off, the Stars go offside. The Blues this year, when tied after 2, a record of 6-1. The Stars are 5-3-1 when even after 40.
Free tackles for everybody. That's it.
And the face-off controlled by the Stars. They dump it in. Elliott leaves it for Shattenkirk. And now back of the goal, Garbett comes free for Jaden Schwartz. And the youngster gets the puck to the Dallas line. And drops it in behind Dillon. And then a shot from the corner by Sobotka. That was close. And now Shattenkirk. To Schwartz again. Here's Sobotka. With plenty of time. Back on the line to Shattenkirk. He's covered. And the shot was blocked by Roussel. Schwartz again. And not a lot of luster on that drive. That was blocked. And it's Brendan Dillon for Dallas in this 2-2 game.
Well, the Blues are the tired team, too. They obviously played last night, and they had to fly here to Dallas. So, obviously, they have to have really short shifts and have good, smart dumps and puck management.
And the Stars, Nichushkin plays one to the line, but no one was there. And now loose puck at center ice. Bouwmeester for Payarby. And now Ben has it. Jamie Benn into Nichushkin. He cuts in to the front. And then a backhander goes high off the stick of Sagan. And it comes around now for Payarby. Stood up by Jordy Benn. And his younger brother, Jamie, has it. And he cruises back in on Pietrangelo, who does a great job. Plays it off the boards to himself. And now moved in by Roy. Here's Derek Roy, a drive, and that's just wide. And he got a lot on that shot. And this goes all the way down the ice. Koliakovo. On for Stewart. Stewart's pass for Roy. And bounces off the boards into the Dallas end. And handled by Kevin Connaughton. Into Chiasson. Peverley gets it deep. Now Chiasson around the boards. Blues get it, and now Chris Porter to center ice. Here's Porter. Bumped a bit by Gauntz. And Gauntz gets it off the far side. And then moved along by Connaughton. He'll scoop it in. Look out, a bouncer. Tricky with a brilliant. That went wide. And it's played by Koliakovo off the glass and all the way down for icing. Well, the Blues ring in the new year at home on January 2nd. When the LA Kings come to town, great seats are available for as low as $35. Visit stlouisblues.com to get your tickets today. And that should be a heck of a battle against the Kings.
Yeah, the Kings have really had the Blues number as of late, and I know that the Blues are going to have that marked on their calendar to make sure that they're ready and willing to try to hand LA that loss that they're trying to give them dearly. After winning the first 2 games in the playoffs last year, they lost. They've dropped actually 5 in a row to the Kings since.
That was Goligoski down the boards. Tipped along by Horkoff. Shattenkirk there. He gets it ahead and now walked along by Sobotka. With Brendan Morrow. Now Sobotka gets it free. For Jackman. Jackman a shot. And that's on goal. Rebound to Oshie. Lets it go. That was blocked by a Dallas player, I believe, by Fiddler, and it goes out of play.
Just keep funneling the puck to the net. Good play by Jackman. And Letton's been out of position a couple of times. Just go ahead and shoot from anywhere. Look at this here. A sharp angle. This comes right out front, and unfortunately, the puck was bouncing a little bit. If it's not bouncing, TJ Oshie could have really rifled that from the ladies' tees, but he had to settle it down first and then go ahead and try to make the wrist shot there that was blocked by Fiddler.
And now Oshie will take the face-off. Again, Deacon, he wins it. Shattenkirk steps up. Now Shattenkirk can't center it. And Roussel the center for Garbett. Into Eakin. Back to Garbett. A backhander. And that was just wide. And Schwartz there for the Blues. On to Oshie. He knocked that out of midair. Working on Goligoski. And Goligoski, good job. And then pushed ahead by Dillon. And here come the Stars. It's Roussel. His drive. And a glove save by Elliott. And down in the corner, a good hit by Koliakovo on Roussel.
Good work by Jaden Schwartz coming back on the back check. Very important. You see the little slide there. He deflected the puck towards the corner. So it's very, very important, especially against a fast team like the Dallas Stars, to have that back checking going on. The pressure coming from the backside is very, very important. You see what a great job there. The second effort by Jaden Schwartz to just dive out and make the big play.
Yeah, that was Hitch's biggest concern, not to give up odd man rushes against this speedy Dallas team. And the puck comes free for Jamie Benn. And a diving play by Pietrangelo. Now it's stolen by Jamie Benn. A shot on goal and a save by Elliott. And then saving a drive. And that goes wide. Comes around to Jordy Benn for Jamie. Out high. And a drive and a right pad save on Rome by Elliott. And the Blues dodge a bullet there.
Yeah, big save. Elliott bailed him out there.
And a drive by Bolmeister, blockered out of play by Lettinen.
A couple of turnovers in the Blues zone, and that's what you got to try to avoid, and especially against the Benn Sagan line. There's a good play by Pietrangelo. Now he doesn't do a good job. He makes a bad play, try to go up the middle. A big save there by Elliott, and then the Stars were able to still keep it in. Another big shot from the point, from the right point. As you see, Elliott with 21 saves so far tonight, and he's made some really, really big ones as of late.
That Jamie Benn is a heck of a player. He was a fifth-round pick in 07. There are the Stars. Peverley on the back check. Yashkin gets over. And now Ian Cole. He battles against Eric Cole. Who's get it, and now it's fed to center by Roy for Stewart. Stewart pulls up. Chris one back of the goal in the area of Yashkin. Yashkin with it, and a backhander. And a pad save, and a tricky one on goal. And Lettinen almost had that go through the legs.
Well, you know what? That's the third time tonight, John, that he's really kind of mishandled those pucks from the sides. And I don't know if the Blues have that as one of their his weaknesses.
Yeah, he wasn't square.
Yeah, he's not been. It's almost he cheats off the post. I mean, we saw TJ Oshie score a goal from a sharp angle up over the roof. But here, this is the third one in a row. But you can see that one very, very, closely. I mean, that was almost in the net through his pads. Off the left, inside of the pad, and almost in. So the Blues must know something there, that they're throwing pucks to the net like that.
And now Sobotka wins it cleanly back to Shattenkirk. That shot goes wide, taken by Schwartz off the boards. And Jaden Schwartz for Oshie. Oshie trying to get to the front. Schwartz was in the area, but couldn't get it on goal. And now Whitney, the 41-year-old, to center ice for Fiddler. And he goes tumbling down over the body of Oshie. Kevin Shattenkirk to Jackman. Good outlet pass now for Schwartz in this 2-2 game. Schwartz comes in to the slot area, broken up, and now Fiddler Stars to center ice. It's Whitney. Whitney with it. In front. And that was intended for Fiddler. Now he gets it a shot. And that was blocked. The Blues at the other end had a couple of players collide. Now we get a whistle. Is the net off, Bernie? I'm not sure.
No, Fiddler went down there, and the referee blew. Okay. Yeah, it looked like he was hurt, so the whistle went because of that.
But two Blues collided back in the Dallas end. That led to a 3-on-2.
Yeah, the odd man rush, and we talked about making sure that you try not to get these odd man rushes, but there's a hit there, as Oshie really had a good hit there, a good clean hit, too, on Fiddler. But yes, the odd man rushes, we talked about what Ken Hitchcock talked about, a fast team like the Stars. You got to be very, very careful with your puck management, getting the puck in deep when you need to, and not giving up those odd man rushes.
Tarasenko, 4 shots after 2 periods. Stars break it up. And the speedy Roussel. And he moves in. Drop pass. He can band on it. May have taken a high stick from Payarvi. Nothing called. And the Blues throw it back to center ice. And Jordy Benn. That's turned away by Koliakovo. Jordy Benn will try again. And the pass to center. Gobbled up by Garbett. And he wires it in. Ian Cole there for the Blues. Now for Lapierre. He reverses for Ian Cole. 6 minutes gone here in the third. Blues and Stars tied at 2. And Cole takes his time. Up the middle for Porter. Fights off a check. Now Porter trying to leave it for Morrow. Stars have it, can't clear it. Pietrangelo chips one in deep again. And now Porter. There's some room back of the Stars goal. Quarter to the line to Bouwmeester. Wrist shot and a glove save by Lettinen, and then Lapierre bumps in front with the Star player Guns. Still tied here in the third. At Schwartz and Oshie for the Blues. Jamie Benn and Garbutt have scored for Dallas. It's Sobotka, the top face-off man in the league, over 61%. Oshie will get the puck in deep. Goligoski around for Dillon. And now a rink-wide feed for Eric Cole. Here's Cole. A little head fake move on Shattenkirk. And then Shattenkirk comes back and does a good job defensively. Chiasson with it for the Stars. Now to Cole. He missed it. Goligoski comes in. That shot blocked by Sobotka. And then Jackman off the glass near the line. But it stays in there. And Sobotka will that puck to center ice with some great determination. Hammered around by Goligoski. Now Shattenkirk. Under pressure there from Chiasson, the rookie. Now it goes to Peverley. Peverley back for Dillon. And a cross and a slap shot off the end board by Rome. And that almost came in back in front. Now Rome again. Off the shin pad of Schwartz, and that's a break for the Blues. And both clubs make changes on the fly. And the veteran Rome with plenty of time. Out of the reach of Whitney. Tipped by Roy back to the Dallas line. Jody Benn to Horkoff. And he's hounded there by Roy. And Roy picks his pocket. Horkoff back to get it. Now it comes free for Stewart. Stewart jabs one to Roy. To the line. Koliakovo's open, but on the backhand. That's the downside of playing your off position on the backhand.
Yes, it is, John. That's a very difficult position. Basically, all you have to do is be able to backhand it in, and that's all he did, just to keep the puck alive.
Now Ian Cole. Stewart's wide open at center ice. Stewart has 8 goals in his last 8 games. Now Dillon reverses for Goligoski. Away from the fort, checking to Berglund. Stars to center ice. Here's Garbutt leaving it for Roussel, who was bumped a bit by Tarasenko. And then Bouwmeester a good hit. Now it's shot on goal by Garbutt and a save by Elliott. Puck free, doubled up by Tarasenko. And he has the puck at center, but was checked. Garbutt trying to get back in. Stood up by Bouwmeester. And now it goes off the end boards to Pietrangelo. That's tipped by Berglund. And PRV wins a puck battle at center ice and shoots it all the way down the ice. Shots in the game, 25-19 for Dallas. We are tied at 2. Porter gets it from the rookie Nichushkin. And now Shattenkirk to his partner Jackman. Lapierre plays it back to Shattenkirk. A lot of careful play here in the third period. Dumped in by Brendan Morrow. Lapierre in on the forecheck with some support from Porter. And Dillon has his man wrapped up. That's Porter. Where that puck is, I have no idea. It's in the skates in the corner. Porter finally gets it free. Now played by Morrow to the line. Shattenkirk with a wrist shot, and that was blocked, and it's off a Dallas player to center ice.
Now the Blues really have done a marvelous job in this third period. I mean, this is a team that played last night that's had, a lot of energy expounded in the last couple of days. So this has been a really, really good third period.
Well, the Cardinals winter warm-up returns January 18th through the 20th. Current players and Hall of Famers will be there to sign autographs. And Fox Sports Midwest were there to bring you all the player interviews. Every dollar raised goes to Cardinals Cares, so get your tickets today at cardinals.com/winter warm-up or visit the team store. Blues win the face-off. Pietrangelo. His wrist shot. Tipped by a couple of sticks on the way through, including Sobotka. Puck comes around, Pietrangelo with it. And now for Schwartz. In there with Sobotka. And Sobotka trying to work off the wall. He does. In front, a drive, blocked. Oshie gets it. Oh, he missed top corner, and it goes out of play as Lettinen was down, and Oshie thought he had the go-ahead goal, but he shot it just a bit too high.
I think it rolled on him.
It's still 2-2.
Well, it was almost 3-2 Blues as TJ Oshie had a glorious opportunity before we went to break. We'll get a look at it here. This puck just rolled a little bit on it when he tried to go up. It went way up into the netting here, but you can see how the puck just rolled there slightly, and he'd love to have that one back. So I'm surprised, John, that this faceoff is not outside the blue line, because I don't think anybody touched it.
Well, they're ruling that Connaughton touched that on the way out of play.
It certainly didn't look like that in the replay, but the Blues will take a faceoff inside the zone.
Well, the referees don't have replay for that.
That's true.
And the faceoff controlled by the Stars. And big Eric Cole, longtime Hurricane, in against Bouwmeester. And Bouwmeester emerges with it. And now on for Oshie. Oshie, a nice pass for Schwartz. Trying to cut to the middle, a shot, and a fluttering shot caught by Lettinen with 9:16 to go in the third.
Well, faceoffs are going to be very important in defensive zones now, whether it's the Blues zone or the Dallas defensive zone, and you're going to see probably the two top faceoff guys. I'm surprised that Peverley is coming off. Peverley, one of the tops in the league, like Sobotka. He's almost at 58%. And you mentioned Sobotka being so good, so Dan taking the faceoff against Roy now.
So Derek Roy against Jamie Benn. Benn wins it, and the puck to center for Sagan, in against Koliakovo. Ends up back of the goal. Chopped that by Ian Cole. And now muscled to center ice by Payarvi. There's Connaughton with it for Dallas. That pass off a stick. Recaptured by Yashkin. Now for Stewart. And that goes all the way down the ice. And Connaughton drops it off. Now Gaunce into Jamie Benn. To the net. Tip just wide by Sagan. Now Sagan in front of Benn. Missed it. Gaunce a shot. And that's blocked. Maybe by Pietrangelo, and it goes over the net and out of play.
Yeah, good work there by the Blues, getting sticks and lanes here as a great opportunity for Connaughton. I believe it was Pietrangelo, but this puck kind of takes a squirrely bounce here off the end boards, and Sagan's got such quick hands there. It comes front. Ben missed it, and this one there, I believe it was Petrangelo's stick that got in the way, as Ken Hitchcock is making these line changes very, very quickly. This team is getting a little winded very quickly.
And a big face-off again. Berglund against Deacon. Puck comes free. Grabbed by Shattenkirk. And a high hoister to the Dallas line. Chopped away, and that goes out of play, and they will bring the face-off deep in the Stars zone.
Well, time for our BMO Harris Bank check replays, and there's been an awful lot of them tonight. Both teams with plenty of physical play. Barrett Jackman there. Here's another big hit. That was TJ Oshie with the big hit there. So this is divisional hockey, and if you're not used to getting hit in divisional hockey, you better stay home.
Blues had 30 hits last night against Chicago. Leading the way, Lapierre and Backus with 5 apiece.
Good to have the Stars back in the Central Division too, John.
Absolutely. Now it's Roussel mishandles that. Last time they were in the division with the Blues back in 97-98. And it's tipped down the boards. Tarasenko trying to jump by everybody, showing his strength there. And he just never gives up on a puck. And the Stars throw it high. And this goes all the way down for icing.
One chance. It's just one shot to be the winning goal here. It's been very, very tightly fought game now. So I think the situation now is that, you know what, the Blues, I think, would be happy with the point, take their chances after that, John, but you certainly don't want to give up an odd man rush or do something, you know, really in a situation where you are going to give up that next goal, as the Stars, because of this icing, are going to take themselves a timeout.
Timeout. Well, students, while you are enjoying winter break, join us at Scott Trade on January 2nd for Student Night as the Blues take on the Kings. With a valid ID, you can get tickets for as low as $22 at the Ford box office. Visit stlouisblues.com/students for more details. And that should be a very entertaining game, and the Blues are expecting a big crowd again.
Absolutely. The Kings, again, a very, very good hockey club. The Kings on a long road trip. They've lost a couple of games in a row, and they're in Chicago tomorrow night against the Hawks, which should be a great game, too. And then in St. Louis on Thursday night, which is absolutely fantastic hockey. Time for our Mazda drive to the net as we took a look at great passing play, and you see Schwartz going to the front of the net, and he just hammered that in. Our Mazda drive to the net right there. Schwartz with his 5th goal in as many games.
And now Lapierre, after the timeout, will take the face-off against Deacon. Deacon controls it. Here's Rome. Porter is all over him. And then Morrow comes in. A bit of a hit there. Puck comes back to the line. Kept in by Cole. And then lobbed high by Rome back to the neutral zone.
This would be a nice coming home present, wouldn't it, for Brendan Morrow to score the game-winning goal here, John, wouldn't it?
I would think it would be icing on the cake as he works down low. Against Connaughton, puck comes free, and it is Jody Benn to center. Whitney flies it in. Shot back to the goal. Eddie and Cole there for the Blues. Uh-oh, the Blues cough it up. Whitney with it, a backhander, and that goes off the end of his stick after a rare giveaway by the Blues. And now Connaughton to pass. Whitney gets a piece of that. Here's Cole for Koliakova. And his feed to center ice. Drilled back in. That a delayed offside probably wouldn't have counted.
Right.
And the Blues take over. Under 7 to play in the 3rd period. Schwartz cruises through the neutral zone. Stars back in. Schwartz thought about shooting and then lost it. And Goligoski will take cover back of the goal. That's the man they want on the ice. Goligoski every time that Schwartz and company are out there for the Blues. And Goligoski almost waited too long there. And now it comes to center ice. Peverly in for Chiasson. To the far side. And Peverly goes tumbling down. Sobotka for Schwartz. Oshie at the line. That's kept in by Sobotka. And he waits for Shattuck, a drive. And that may have hit Dillon and went wide. And the Stars float one to center ice. And Jamie Benn down the boards. Cut off by Shattenkirk. And back down the ice it goes. Rome with it. That's off a stick. And handled by Jackman. And his long wrist shot or pass for Payarvi. And the Stars come over and shoot one the other way back to center ice. Bouwmeester with it. He'll drill it right back in. Jody Benn up the boards. And it's Sagan cruising to center ice. 3 Blues are around him. All he can do is dump it in. And Tarasenko now for Bouwmeester. Nice pass to Payarvi. Here are the Blues to center with numbers 4-on-2. It's Payarvi. Works in a shot. And a stick save by Letnick. And now Payarvi again. And he was out-muscled there in the corner. And the Stars up the middle. Here they come. Gaunt's off the boards. Now Gaunt's to the net. A shot. And scooped up by Elliott. Good save there. With 5:04 to go in the 3rd. Deadlocked at 2.
Down to the meat and potatoes of this game, only 5 minutes to go. But you can see the Blues in the last 7 games, they've had 6 out of the 7 have been wins. They've outscored the Stars 24-16, and the power play's been much better. But you always need good goaltending on the road. Big save here for Brian Elliott. He gets that big catching mitt up and makes a big save. So, again, puck management, the Blues want to get at least a point out of this. You can see they have not lost a game in regulation. 11-0-1 in the Central Division, which is incredible.
Stars win the faceoff. Garbett. He goes for a twirl back of the goal. And then is hit by Sobotka. Lapierre gets it off the glass and out. Now for Oshie. And Oshie at the Dallas line. Spins around. Can't get a shot on goal. And this is Cody Eakin. He wanders back to center ice for Roussel. Roussel a shot. Hit the goalpost. And that beat Elliott, but hit the post. Now another shot by Dillon is stopped by Elliott. And it's Koliakova back to center ice. And he gets it behind the defense. Dillon with it. Checked by Derek Roy. Now Roy trying to make a play back of the goal for Stewart. Reverses to Roy. Centering pass. That was blocked by Dillon. And now it is Sagan with it. Pass back. Almost misfired. Dillon chops it. And the puck to center ice. And wired in by Roussel. And Elliott waits, now plays it around. Sagan cuts it off. Here's Nichushkin back of the goal. And he's punished by Bouwmeester. Well, 2 Stars after it. Inside of 4 minutes in the third period. Bouwmeester has it pinned against the wall. Jamie Benn gets it free. And his pass in a stick ends up in the corner. Stars have it. Shot by Jordy Benn. Now Nichushkin has it again. And back of the goal, Derek Roy there to block his pass. And finally grabbed by Bouwmeester and Stewart. Out of the zone. Stewart can't move it up the ice. Blues want to make a change here, and it goes back to Pietrangelo. Now Vladdy Sobotka through center ice. Smacks it off the wall in deep. Goligoski ahead. At the line, Shattenkirk. That shot didn't get through. Sobotka to Oshie, a drive, and that goes high and wide. And now Jackman activates. Jackman down low. Had it knocked away. Stolen by Sobotka, back of the net. And he comes out high to Oshie, the drive, and that missed again with a screen in front. And the Stars and Whitney throws it down the ice. No icing here as Gorkov gets there first. And now Oshie back of the goal. Fiddler comes over, but he is worked over by Jackman. And a good job by Jackman to bounce it down the ice. And it will go all the way for icing, just wide of the goal.
We may get a timeout here by Ken Hitchcock, but an opportunity here. Look at this shot off the short side post. I don't know if there was a lot of room there. You see Elliott looking behind him, but he probably didn't have a lot to shoot at there. And the Blues have called the timeout, John. No surprise here as Ken Hitchcock will give his troops a little time to rest here. A very important face-off as we're down to 2 minutes and 25 seconds. But you see the Blues won 3-1 in the second game of back-to-back games. And, John, this is tough for all the guys. I mean, it's not that far of a flight from St. Louis to Dallas, but you guys came, the team has come back from Ottawa to head back and forth. So, I mean, there's been a lot of different times the Blues have had back-to-back that have been a lot tougher than this one here.
Well, Fox Sports Midwest brings you the Cardinals Hot Stove Report on Wednesday. We'll bring you a recap of Adam Wainwright's Fantasy Football League and talk to Chris Carpenter about his retirement. Cardinals Hot Stove Wednesday at 6:30 on Fox Sports Midwest. And a huge face-off with 2:25 left in regulation. There's a Blues Cardinal fan.
Yeah, there's lots of, if you look around the building here, there's an awful lot of Blues jerseys. That's the first Cardinal hat I've seen, which is nice to see.
Against Peverly, and Sobotka wins it. Shattenkirk chops it, and this does come to center ice. And a quick change by the Blues. Now Goligoski back in. Here's Goligoski, a red shot, and that's taken care of by Elliott as Eric Cole went to the net. Blues are in Minnesota on Tuesday night, New Year's Eve, for the last game of 2013.
Yeah, it's hard to believe 2013 is almost over. Another 5 o'clock start there for the game, 4:30 pregame. But you can see, I looked at Brian Elliott's numbers. He's not won here in this building, so this would be a big way for the Blues to try to find a way, and hopefully, John, in the next 2 minutes and 13 seconds, to not give the Stars any points, get one to themselves.
Yeah, at the very least, get it to overtime. Stars draw it back in a diving play by Tarasenko to knock it down the ice. And Letnin out of the net. And this is lobbed high to the blue line, now moved along by Jordy Benn. He winds it around. Tipped by Cole, and now recovered by Berglund. And the Stars back up a bit. Here's Berglund for Goliakovo. Tarasenko tips that one down the ice. Letnin rifles it ahead. Now Jordy Benn for Cole. And from the red line, that bounces wide of Elliott. And a good job by Ian Cole to reverse it. Lapierre finds Cole at center ice. And that's off the boards and in. 90 seconds left in regulation. Stars shoot it around now to Garbutt. And that bounces to center ice. Shattenkirk hands it back to Jackman. And now for Brendan Morrow. Slow roller. Slowed down by Letnin. Goligoski with it. And off the boards and out. Shattenkirk, the first man back. Get some help there from Chris Porter. And then Goligoski again back for Dillon.
1 minute remaining in the third period.
In the final minute here in the third period. Fans getting a bit restless here in Dallas. Now Goligoski. And that pass goes down the ice. No icing, they say. Pietrangelo can't move it. Jordy Ben, but now Pietrangelo again off Oshie's skate into Dallas ice. And Rome goes back for the Stars. Off the glass, cut off by Schwartz. And now moved to center by Ben, but Oshie on his knees. And he whacks it off the sideboards and back in there. 25 seconds left in the third period. Here's Rome, a pass to center ice. For Ben, now out of the reach of the rookie Chiasson. And they battle at the red line. Lobbed high by Rome, and that goes well wide of the goal. 10 seconds left here. Bouwmeester to center ice for Schwartz. Makes the smart play. And we will go to overtime for the third consecutive game.
This is what you call gutting it out. The Blues playing last night. I mean, you got to give them full marks. So we'll see what happens in the next 5 minutes, hopefully, John.
4-on-4 overtime is next. Well, longtime adversaries and good friends, Ken Hitchcock and Lindy Ruff, and they see their clubs go to overtime here in Dallas.
And the first period was the Blues on the power play. Beautiful passing play. Oshie to Sabotka to Schwartz, and the Blues had a 1-0 lead. In the second period, they would add to that lead. A misplay there by Connaughton. Oshie with the steal and a roofer right over the right shoulder of Lettinen. It was 2-0 Blues, but then the Stars took over. They scored their first power play goal in a long time here in this building. Just the third out of 61 chances by Ben to make it 2-1, and then the deflection by Garbutt. It was 2-2 after 2, and that's where we sit right now. The shots on goal, 29-20 for the Stars in this game.
And 8-4 for Dallas in that third period.
And some more Blues fans there with hats on, Blues hats. You gotta love it.
Looking good here in Big D. So 4-on-4 overtime. The Blues 5-5. The Stars are 4-6. It'll be Sabotka and Schwartz up front for the Blues. Eakin and Garbutt start for Dallas as the forwards. And it's dropped unfairly.
Well, the Blues have to really guard against the speed of the Stars here. And again, when you're on the road, John, I think that you always should be the aggressor. I mean, you try to end the game as soon as you can. And these guys, certainly with Sabotka and Schwartz together, they can get it done, especially when you got two guys like Bouwmeester and Pietrangelo who are going to change right off the bat.
Yeah, they're going to probably save them for Ben and Sagan.
Yep.
As Koliakovo feeds Sabotka. He moves in, and a shot, and just off the left pad of Lettinen. That was close back against the grain, and Lettinen made a good save. And now Eakin with it. And he delays a bit and now finds some room at center ice. Eakin chips it over the Blues defense. Ian Cole turns into the corner. Plays one ahead for Berglund, now back to Cole. And off the boards in deep. Oshie trying to track it down against Goligoski. And that's knocked away by Dillon. He gets it by Berglund. And big Brendan Dillon comes in for the Stars. That bounces well wide. And then back of the goal, Pietrangelo. And away from Ben. Quickly to center ice now for Oshie. As Pietrangelo joins the play. Here's Oshie, delays, now in front. And a shot. And man, he's fired a lot wide tonight. Does have a goal, and now he gets a penalty, I believe, on the back check. As Oshie and Jamie Benn.
Now Oshie with a good chance to end this game in overtime. Just shoots it high and wide, but and then with the I hate that penalty, John. You know, I know that it's a slash, but you know what? Guys are responsible, at least in my day, hanging onto your stick. And you know what? If you're hanging onto your stick tight and he chops it, what's going to happen? The stick's going to break. Well, obviously he wasn't holding it very tight. So now the Blues put themselves in a tough spot here to try to kill off a 2-minute minor here, a 4-on-3 power play.
And Jamie Benn out there to take the face-off against Sabotka. Stars 1 for 4 tonight. But a huge chance on this 4-on-3. And Sabotka knocks Ben down. Puck comes to the line, and Seguin comes across. Tyler Seguin for Goligoski. He waits. Down low. Down to Goligoski again. And a shot. That was blocked by Sobotka. Recovered by Seguin. Back to Goligoski. Tough angle, and Ben wires it high off the glass and now over the glass. And they'll bring the face-off out to center.
Well, that's exactly where you want the shots coming from. I mean, you're not going to score on a goaltender, obviously, a shot that high, but when you can force the shots to this far out to the outside, that's way outside the dot. There's no way he's going to score from there. So good work by the Blues to start this PK.
And now Schwartz comes out to take the face-off against Jamie Benn. And Schwartz wins it for Cole. And he hammers it down the ice. Seguin, Goligoski, Chiasson, and Jamie Benn up. They're on the ice for Dallas. Here they come to center. Seguin walks in. He's eyed by Cole. Back for Goligoski. He moves in. To Seguin. Fakes the shot, now to Ben. Seguin and Ben play catch out high. Seguin again, a drive. That was high. Hit the glass and all the way to center ice. They're shooting a lot high.
Well, they're trying to, I mean, everybody wants to shoot high to score, but the passes are really not in the right spot in the one-timers.
Well, Seguin with it. He moves in. Good stick there by Berglund. Now back to Ben. A drive and another high shot. Smacks off the glass, and Bouwmeester rolls it around. And this goes down the ice with 40 seconds left in the power play. 2:25 left in overtime. So far, no shots on goal in this power play. It's Jamie Benn. Hasn't left the ice, and now they go offside.
Yeah, we told you before the game that the Stars were 2 for 58, John, here at home on the power play. They did get one tonight, 1 for 4, so that's 3 for 62, and now they get their 5th chance of the power play, and it's not been very good, especially 4-on-3. No movement at all. You're not going to move around. I mean, you're not going to be able to get somebody open to score.
And Sobotka wins the faceoff. Now the Stars come up with it. Here comes Cole. Eric Cole down the boards. Trying to get by Sobotka. It's covered by Elliott as he has the right hand back. And we get a whistle with 17 left in the Oshie Minor.
You know, it's interesting. I mean, you've got two guys. You've got a guy with Seguin, 19 goals, and you've got Ben with 13. He got his 13th tonight, and you'd think that you would have them in the shooting spots on this 4-on-3, but they were out high. They're out high. You got to get them down to the spot where they can score.
And a quick face-off win on goal, saved by Elliott, cleared by Pietrangelo. With 2 minutes left in overtime, letting in a long pass, and that goes by everybody. And the Blues will kill some more time on the 4-on-3. Back to center ice, Berglund. Oshie is back, so the Blues have killed it off. And now Roussel with it. And that's picked off by Oshie. And he hooks one over for Pietrangelo with 1:35 left in overtime.
Great work by the penalty killers. No shots on goal. I mean, it was just brilliantly done.
Well, Berglund has some room at center ice. He'll chip it by Dillon. But now Roussel comes back, followed by Berglund. Fights off the check. Here's Roussel. And takes the hip check from Koliakovo. And then they battle back with a goal. Koliakovo now for Shattenkirk. And he has some room at center ice. Lehtinen missed it back with a goal. Here's Dillon, almost a giveaway there. But grabbed by the 18-year-old Nichushkin. Blues on the back check, and they break it up. And it rolls to Shattenkirk inside a minute now in overtime. Long pass to center ice. Here's Roy. Down his off wing with Tarasenko. And Roy knocked down. Tarasenko had moved in but couldn't find it. Now Roy does. Fights off Knotenscheck. Here's Roy back of the goal. Pulled down, and now power play for the Blues with 35 seconds left.
How quickly the tide can turn. The Blues kill off a big penalty kill, and now all of a sudden they're going to get one of their own as Connaughton grabs a hold. You see he got his arm around. Well, you know what? I thought he hit his arm. He's kind of pushed him, but nonetheless, the call is made, and the Blues find themselves now with only a 35.5-second power play, but plenty of time, John, to win this hockey game.
And they are perfect on the power play tonight. 1 for 1. And the face-off key with 35 seconds left. Sobotka against Fiddler. It's Sobotka, Stewart, Pietrangelo, and Shattenkirk. Blues do win it.
2 minutes for tripping.
Now Shattenkirk for Pietrangelo. He'll switch sides with Shattenkirk. Down to Shattenkirk, a shot. That's blocked by Fiddler. High in the air. Comes down, Goligoski and Sobotka battle for it. With 20 seconds left. Puck comes free now to the Blues. Back to Shattenkirk. In for Sobotka. Tips it back. Shattenkirk, one-timer. He scores! A winner in overtime. He won it last night in a shootout. And the Blues get 2 points on a goal by 22.
Unbelievable. 2 for 2 on the power play. Deuce is wild as he wore the T-shirt last night after the game. But you know what? This is a win, John, without Steen, without Backus. You know what? Without Pollock, without Reeves, without Leopold. So what an effort, especially a team that played their hearts out last night, came back 3 times from 2-goal deficits to beat Chicago. Now they come and steal 2 points here in this building. What a boost, and what an amazing feat by this team that just seems to find ways to win.
His 6th of the year, and it's a winner at 4:49 in overtime on the power play.
Good work by the Blues, and again, Sobotka back in the lineup, and here it is. That's a short side just inside the post as Letna doesn't get far enough across. Letna tried to slide, but look at that. That's a perfect shot off the inside of the goalpost. Short side, deflects in. You can see the reaction by Goligoski as we look at our Bud Light player of the game, TJ Oshie, a goal assist tonight. No line mates. He's got no Backus. He's got no Steen, but he comes up with a goal and assist. He is our Bud Light player of the game. What a win, John, and what a set of back-to-back games last night and tonight.
Shattenkirk the winner from Pietrangelo and Sobotka. The Blues winning in overtime, 3-2 the final.